facing who can even be a bridge to get us to the other side. But I think when we get to the other side, it'll be an other side of realness.
I think Joe Biden has a chance to be LBJ.
Next LBJ.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Alive, I don't believe you can be a Democrat and be a Christian at the same time. I just don't believe it.
That's why you better be independent. You can't be a Republican and a Christian at the same time either. Just ask the evangelicals.
What is up, everybody? It is Monday, so you know what time it is. It's 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, and at that time, we have TFG tonight. I'm coming to you from downtown Dallas, as you can see behind me, and I really am from downtown Dallas. We're going to be talking politics, cultures, social issues, whatever's happening in the news, me and my guest, and we're going to be chatting about everything, from Trump's executive orders to Breonna Taylor and the complications of that case, to the explosions, I believe, in Baltimore and also in Beirut, and some other things as well. Anything else that pops into my head to chat about and inform you guys on, we will be talking about it. So again, we're also still waiting on an announcement from old Joe, as I call him, old Joe Biden. I'm a little bothered and perturbed about it because he's taking too long. I don't have patience. Go ahead and announce who your vice president is going to be, because guess what? Depending on who you choose is going to determine a whole lot for me. Because if he does not pick a black woman, I've said it a million times, a lot of people disagree with this, he may not have my support. I'm sorry. I think it'd be a disservice if he does not choose a black woman. And I'm gonna wear his ass out on social media and on this show as much as I can if he does not pick a black woman. Let's bring my guest on. Let's see who we got on the show tonight. Let's get this thing started. What's going on, Dwayne?
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? It's your boy, The Prez, a.k.a. Sir Night on with my boy Lamar. You know how we do, man.
Right on. So we're going to chat a little bit. And everyone that's watching, if you will, take a quick moment and share this broadcast. Go a little further than that. If you'll just say, hey, say hey to my lady, say hey to my guest, right?
Hey, what's up?
Say hey, so we know you're here.
Hey, what's up, ladies? How y'all doing? It's your boy, The Prez. We just want to holler in, touch in everybody to say, hey, across the world. Hope everybody is safe, keeping safe out there in this corona world. You know what I'm saying? We all sitting back trying to keep these masks on and everything,
Absolutely. COVID. That's
COVID.
One of my topics, but I want to go ahead and thank you, Tam Watts. She said favorite show, and that's my baby, by the way.
Hey, Tam, what's going on, Tam?
Thank you. All right. So let's talk about COVID real quick. While it's not in the lineup, I want to talk about it. COVID is still going strong. Numbers are still rising. I know they're dropping and leveling out in some places, but overall, I think it's still rampant, and I think it's going to get a lot worse. I think it's starting to hit home even more with a lot of people. I know a lot of people that have been affected by it, and I think it's just horrible. So I just want to say to everybody, wear your mask. Please wear your mask. This thing, forget all the conspiracy talk. Forget all the craziness. Don't listen to Trump about the whole drinking bleach or whatever he said to drink. Wear your mask, because this is a very serious thing, and we all need to be protected. And flu season is upon us. It's coming soon.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be even crazier at that time, in my opinion, because you're not going to know whether or not you have COVID or flu. And then if you just have flu and you go to the doctor for flu, then you might catch COVID while you're there for flu. So it's going to be crazy. So protect yourself as much as you can. Eat some oranges or something. Put some vitamin C.
Look, drink orange juice every day. Every day. I mean, Lamar, man, I think, and me being a health major and everything, I think I said it when COVID started. I was like, look, it's going to take about a good year. And when I say a year, just to even probably get a handle on this. And my career course instructor for Captain's Career Course, he is a medical service officer by trade. He explained it more. He says it's it's basically it's an upgraded flu virus, and the fact that it is mutated, and with a virus, what it does, it just mutates. And the fact that it is mutated beyond our normal scope of control, and we the nation just doesn't understand. Like you said, put the mask on. And some people say, oh well, the mask, yeah, we get it, the mask just keeps it inside, but you got to understand what you're doing. You're preventing from transmitting to someone else.
Absolutely.
And that's what has to be important in this world, man. We gotta forget about ourselves and think about everybody else, because families have lost people, children, brothers, aunts, elderly, like you name it. I think we're up to over 160 some odd thousand new cases,
Yep.
4 million deaths throughout the globe. I mean,
every day is increasing,
and it has to stop. It really has to stop. So I mean, we have to take the precautions. We have to think about other things other than ourselves.
Absolutely.
Stay in the house. Just stay in the house. This is not important.
Absolutely, stay in there. If you absolutely have to go out, suit up. Come on. And that's all we'll spend on that. What's our first topic, Mrs. Producer? That's what we got to talk about. Trump's executive orders. I'm so ready to talk about this. And if there's anyone out, I understand. If there's anyone out there that's watching that has input on this is open forum today. If you want to come onto the screen, our producer will send you the link. Just say it in the comments. We'll bring you on. Open forum. We're just chatting a bit. Just chatting a little bit. Real quick, Tam says people are dying. This isn't politics, it's social responsibility. Amen. All right, Trump's executive orders. What did he sign? Let's talk about it. What did he sign? He signed an executive order that gives people, that continues or extends the enhanced unemployment for $400. Oh, we got somebody I think about to come on this thing. All right,
oh snap!
There we go. We got another guest. Bring them on down. Bring them on down.
Hey,
Chris, familiar face. I just seen you on TV.
You just seen me.
You was on TV. We just synced you.
Just saw you on TV.
Seen me. I was there.
Yeah. So we're talking about this Trump executive order. What is it exactly? This order is supposedly he's going to extend the enhanced unemployment. It was at $600 extra per week for people that were on unemployment, in addition to what they were already getting. It expired. The Senate Republicans want to do 200, I think, 200 or 300, and the Democrats want to keep it at 6. And Trump went on and signed it for $400 extra per week. This is not a law. This is something that can be litigated in court. Executive orders only have teeth if they're not contested, so it doesn't really have any legal pretense behind it. But it can go into effect. Warren Truxler wants to come on. Bring Warren on. Someone send Warren the thing. But it can't go into effect if there's no one's taking him to court, and then who knows how long that will take. So the other thing that is in this executive order is deferring payroll tax. Those little FICA and all them, they be on your check. Every time you get paid, deferring those payments those deductions from your paycheck until the end of the year. But the thing about it though, Trump is smart. While he's an idiot, he's also smart. While he's an idiot, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing as it relates to trying to make a deal and get over and do something that's going to benefit him. But I feel like if we can benefit at the same time, let's get it. So this is what it does, and I'm gonna let y'all talk in just a second. I'm very passionate about this, as you can tell. So deferring the payroll tax. He said that. He also said that the next administration will have to continue what he's done, or let it go back to where you're paying those payroll taxes. So basically, he's kind of put us in a position where either re-elect him so that he can make permanent cuts, or go back to paying your payroll taxes in the midst of a pandemic. So it kind of makes the next administration look kind of bad, because most likely they're probably not going to push for us to cut payroll taxes on a permanent basis. What are y'all thoughts on this? And I'll continue.
Give me all the taxes. Give me all the taxes.
Just take my taxes, man.
Just take them.
Take my taxes, because it's one of those things, and I can talk on this one. It's one of those things where it's doing more harm than good, because let's look at the realism of this. Yeah, there are people that are out in this world that are truly in need of the unemployment check. I got it. But how many people really ain't just? Oh, I'm not gonna work right now. I can just get a free check off the government's
There's
dime.
a lot of those too.
No, bro, I can't agree with it. I mean, I just cannot agree with it. I do not think that it. These are trying times, yes, and Corona has jacked up a lot of lives. But just take my taxes, man. Just go on, take it.
Yeah, I
Just
want
go
to do
on, take
anything
it.
that's going to be the opposite to encourage people to vote for Trump. I don't think he needs another term. I disagree with the unemployment thing. Everyone that I know that has had to go on unemployment during this pandemic can't make it off of the unemployment. They're
They
getting
can't.
far less than what they were making. So they're not just sitting there collecting a check. They're trying to eat off the check and barely eating. And now they're really barely eating because they're not really getting anything anymore. Hopefully they'll even get the 400. So I say take all my taxes again because I don't want to give Trump any kind of leverage. We need to get him out of there. We're sick of him. I'm tired of coronavirus. He's the reason why we're in this deep.
Don't take my tax. All right, so I get what you guys are saying, and I feel like there are lots of people that definitely need the unemployment. However, I do feel like there's also those that try to take advantage of situations and don't necessarily. I mean, they're getting unemployment. They're just the extra. I think that first of all, I feel like the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, played her hand very wrong as it relates to this situation. She chose not to negotiate at all with the Republicans, which resulted in nothing, which resulted in expiration and nothing happening and no extra. So if Trump would not have signed this, and I'm not trying to praise Trump by any means. I'm not voting for Trump unless Biden don't choose a black woman for president. All right, Vice President. All right, so I'm not any means by any stretch of the imagination a Trump fan. Okay, I think he needs to be. I think he's dangerous for the country every which way other than economic. But she chose not to negotiate. So Trump had to do an executive order while he's doing it to get reelected. Thank you, because a lot of people do need it. And she chose not to do nothing, which lets you know that it is a lot of politics. It's all politics, and the Democrats and the Republicans are willing to let nothing happen for just for the sake of politics and for the sake of not budging for the other side. And I think that's deplorable. They all need to be gone.
It's a lot of old money, man. And it's a lot of deep rooted. I wouldn't say racism, but it's a lot of deep rooted things that are in the politics that they got, like you said, they have to be removed out of office. And I'm not Biden for either side, Republican or Democrat. Although on paper I'm a Democrat, but I look at the realism of the world, and not making a deal was bad, but at the same time, we got to move them. We got to move them to the left and get them out and place new leadership there. So
right now, it's not the time to make a point. I mean, we have way too many people dying. We have way too many people unemployed for reasons that could have been avoided. So trying to make a point and hold out and this, that, and the other, just stop it. Just get this virus out of here. Get these people back to work, and let's move on with life. All this other stuff is bull. I'm sick of it.
Exactly. Stop being petty, Pendergrass. Stop being petty, man.
Right.
It's all petty, and it's petty on both sides for sure. So I will say that those that do need that extra 400, y'all probably should thank Trump, because y'all wouldn't have it if he ain't signed the executive order.
Well, we also wouldn't have coronavirus if he would have signed something else 6 months ago.
Well,
so
see,
we can't thank Trump for anything.
Long.
Oh, please. He's responsible for he's responsible for it becoming as big as it has become. We're the only country still neck deep in this shit. Everybody else is like getting out of it, getting better. They're over the hump, and we're really probably just beginning. So, and it's because we have horrible leadership. So there's no other way around that.
So a major issue with this was, and from experience, having lived with coronavirus for like three months before I came back across the water, it just, like you said, it wasn't planned for correctly. The advice was not taken by higher leadership,
right?
And trends were not looked at. You can't plan in a vacuum. You just can't. And
Right.
the way these countries overseas they beat it is they made the decisions. Although it was hard decisions to make, but this is what we do as leaders. We make hard decisions. It may affect only for a small amount of time, but the end result is far greater. That's how we got ahead of it in Korea.
Right.
That's how they got ahead of it in Italy. That's how they're getting ahead of it in England, Germany, all these places that have been affected. Heck, even in the Middle East. And we all know their healthcare system is not as good as ours.
Yep.
And especially being deployed there, seeing it. But they've gotten over the hump.
Yeah.
You know, they got cases here and there that pop up and everything. But however, they're able to control those cases. They're able to contact trace it. This is who had this who got it. Quarantine these people. Symptoms are gone. Move on to the next.
And I agree.
Right.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna agree.
I agree with you guys on that. He absolutely and that's the part that when I say I like the economy. To me, with Trump, with any Republican or which he's a fake Republican, I'm all for it. You know, I'm a fiscal conservative. I have Republican views when it comes to economy. However, when it comes to social issues, I'm liberal. He scares me on the social end, and also as it relates to our health. He could have allowed us to be over the hump by now. However, his ego gets in the way, just like it does with most other things. He didn't want Obama and Susan Rice, who might be announced as Joe Biden's vice president. They created a game plan, created a plan already for a pandemic. So they have it. They had it in the White House. He just chose not to use it because he don't want to use anything from Obama because he thinks he knows better. So he definitely put us in harm's way and has not been a great commander-in-chief, if you will, in that regard. So for that, he sucks. Economy-wise, I can't say.
Well, the economy only does well because he's selfish, and he knows that if the economy does well, he'll do well. So we still can't even really give him credit there. I mean, we could. I hate to give him any kind of credit because, to be honest with you, I studied Trump this past week and the things that he has done. And unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately, because I do live in America, everything he's done isn't totally bad. But he's such an awful person, and his morals are so disgusting. It's hard to even give him any kind of credit. Yeah,
just like most black people treat Candace Owens the same way. She says a lot of stuff that makes sense.
Candace Owens says stuff, and then she walks it back. The next statement, she walks it all the way back.
But she says a lot of truth as relates to us, but nobody can hear because of how it's packaged and because of who she is and because she's a shock jock type character, and she goes way too far trying to run with the Rush Limbaughs and the Mark Levins, all these people that are shock jocks that say stuff just to get attention. She's doing that too much. So it makes it hard to hear her when she's saying stuff that really makes sense.
I used to agree with that. And then I started studying Candace Owens and watching some stuff she does. She's a buffoon. I don't even have anything nice to say about Candace Owens anymore.
So with
she sold her soul.
No, she didn't say she sold her soul. So with the economy, though, however, and I say this, if one truly understands politics, economies do not really improve based off whoever is in office at the current point in time. Mm-hmm. We have to understand that the economy have 8 years of the greatest president of all time, President Barack Hussein Obama, and I will say that. But we have to understand that what we are feeling now, as far as the economy improving, is the first 4 years of his presidency just now catching up.
Right.
And then what we'll feel after this from 4 years from now will be the last 8 years. It'll take time for things to, level itself out. But like I said, I don't really think it's anything that my current boss has really done to improve the economy other than the policies and procedures that were already put in place 8 years ago that are now starting to catch up. Because remember, we had 8 years of GWB. So it took 2 terms just to fix one term. So
I feel you on some of that, but the current president, I'm about to let you go in, let you chime in, Warren. Nice to meet you, by the way. But
Thank you.
I agree with that a little bit, but the current president and Congress has to still have implemented legislation and things that continues the flow, continues what's going. There's a lot of stuff they can do to change it. They can make a quick turn. I feel like with certain things maybe put into action. What you got, Warren? Want to chime in on this?
Well, I missed half of it trying to log into the thing, but I'm just, it's afraid to say I'm still not convinced on Joe Biden. He just hasn't, not that I'm a Trump supporter or anything like that, but I don't see how exactly he's going to make it better. I mean, I've gotten real jaded after.
And I think that's the most important.
Right, I get that, and everybody, but is that reason enough? Because if what he brings to the table is worse than Trump, which it most certainly can be, do we really know a lot about Biden and how he thinks as to how is he going to be any better? No one can explain how he's going to be so much better than Trump other than the fact that he's not Trump. Right, and that's even scarier because it's like, okay, well, everyone knows if Trump wins again, he's going to show his behind. He's not going to, it's going to be worse than it was the first 4 years, but we have no idea how Joe Biden and the Democrats, where they really want to lead us. They can't seem to defy or decide what's going on within their own party. If they can't clean their own house, it's kind of scary what they'll do when they got the whole house, as their responsibility.
Neither can the Republicans. The Republicans are so scared of each other. They don't. Come on, like the Republicans are so scared that, oh man, if this person has a little bit more power than me, then my money is going to be cut off, and this and this and this. And the Republicans ain't no better now.
No,
it's all a swamp. And as Tam said, neither have earned our vote, sadly, which I agree. I don't feel like I have earned our vote. And what sucks to me, though, while I am committing to voting for Biden, as long as he picks a black
me too.
As long as he picks
I already done promised my mama I was gonna vote for him, even though I didn't want to. I'm doubling her vote.
I'm doing it against my will. If he picks a black woman, if he don't, I'm not. All bets are off. However, and I'm gonna drag his ass every week on the show. I promise.
But I'm gonna pay close attention because we were all excited. I'm from the hood. When Obama was being elected, I'm talking about we drove up to the voting booth in all our cars, just looking about as thugged out as you can be. We were excited because we thought that there was real change coming. And here we are, 10 years later, and it doesn't seem like not much of anything happened, So a lot of us, especially in neighborhoods like the one I live in, are just jaded. It's like, man, regardless if we go out and vote or not, nothing's really going to change.
Where are you from?
So I'm from Indianapolis, but I live in Atlanta right now. Now, when Obama was hired, when I was president, I was in Indianapolis, but I live in Atlanta now. Cool. Man, it's jaded. Just like, I remember looking out the window in my neighborhood here, and I live on Glenwood. I don't know if y'all know about Glenwood, but it's,
I know what Glenwood
a well-known. Yeah, so when all the protests and everything was happening and they were telling us on the news what was happening in Atlanta, and I'm looking outside and I'm like, that ain't really what's going on. It's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to put my faith in anything that's coming from the TV and the media. I don't want to sound like Trump and say fake news and all, but it's really hard to, it's hard to believe anything these days.
It is.
And I don't have very much faith in Joe Biden. The fact that he has nothing to say with everything that's going on in the world right now, he's been as quiet as a mouse, and he thinks that he's going to win just from being quiet because he's got black people in the bag. Like he doesn't even have to campaign to us anymore. You know what I mean? At least Trump has to campaign to his base. Everyone knows he doesn't really like those rednecks, but he knows that they're his base, so he's going to talk to them. You know what I mean? He don't like the. Whoa, look.
I agree.
He's a New York. He was a New York Democrat his whole life. He never liked those poor people. He never would have been caught dead in a room with any of those trailer park people. He would have been in a room with Don King before he was in a room with any of these people.
Hillary Clinton. He was with Hillary Clinton all the time. He had pictures all over.
Right. He was with Hillary. He was at the, he was everywhere. And that doesn't, not to say that he's not racist and he's not all of the things that people say about him, but I don't think he gives two, F's about his base either. I think he's a con man and he's saying whatever he wants to say to win. And those are the people that are duped. And we shouldn't be duped like they are duped by the Republicans. We shouldn't be just as duped by Joe Biden and just vote for him regardless, just because, even though we know, because I've talked to some, I live in the South. These white folks know that he's not really one of them like that. They know that it makes us mad, and they know that it stands up for whatever their principles are. So they can throw that in our face. Yeah. Just like around 2007 or around, about 3 years into Obama's term, we started to realize maybe he's not, he don't really got some big black agenda that he's trying to help us, but we're going to ride with him anyway because that's our boy,
Well, unfortunately for me, I'm apolitical because I wear 2 train tracks and I swear an oath to the Constitution that I support and defend that. So I'm just kind of apolitical on that stuff. So, but I do it for y'all. I
want to.
Right.
Paul has a comment.
Let's
go back to a comment that Paul has a longer one. Paul says Trump has changed a lot, cutting regulations and pushing manufacturing to come back. This stuff going on with China trade is going to be huge. It will be defining for the country, and we don't know what either Biden or Trump have said squat about it.
And he's not wrong about that. I mean, some of the look, like I said, I live in Atlanta. You can't find too many black business owners that aren't Trump supporters secretly, if they won't admit it or not. They're enjoying the policies that he's put in place in regards to small businesses and people who got money, basically. If if you're that type of person that owns your own business, is in control, you want deregulation. You don't want the government telling you have to hire these people or you have to provide health care for these people. You'd rather be able to choose what you can do with your money. We're still in a place where, is that right or wrong? We're not sure yet. But
liberty and freedom.
Right. So I'm still on the fence about that myself, but you can't say that he hasn't done anything. The tax breaks you get for opening up business in quote unquote hoods, that's something Obama should have did and could have done. You know what I mean? Nobody would have stopped that, but he didn't. It wasn't even on his mind. And the fact that you could open up a barbershop right now and get a few years of tax breaks, just like an Arab or an immigrant that opens up something. That's good.
I feel like we have to be careful when we say that kind of stuff, because it creates the illusion that Trump is doing things for black people. He's not doing anything for anyone except himself.
Well, the thing is,
nobody has. Who has done anything for us? And why should we expect anyone to do anything for us? Make it to where if we build our table, they won't burn it down. That's all I want.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want
that. That's how he gets away with saying, I've done more for black people than any president has ever done for black people. And that's not true. He's doing stuff for him, and it's a trickle down benefit for some other people.
But the problem is when we say what a certain commander-in-chief president has done for other people, we got to stop thinking like that.
Yeah.
It's not about who's ever in the White House, who's ever at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. It's not that person. It's our own individual selves as African American people. Yeah. What have we done for ourselves to make ourselves better? We spend more time spending money on things that make absolutely no sense, investing in things other than our own our own business, our own cultures, and we have this whole picture that life needs to be like this. This is what it is. When all these things was put in place to destroy us a long time ago in the first place. So course, I mean, when sitting here saying that a certain person has done more for this person, whether President Obama, President Bush, my current boss, it doesn't matter. None of them can really do anything for us unless we do it for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I say that all the time. The president can't save you. You have to get yourself together. But I don't like the implication that Trump has done things for
I don't like it either. Don't get me wrong. I don't like it either, because last time I checked, ain't now one of the people that was in the Oval Office got up and put their boots on and their uniform on and sat in that hot ass goddamn sun like I have over these past couple of years. They ain't doing it.
Exactly. Well, Trump, he avoided it.
Well, I want to get to some of these comments real quick. Tam said we're really voting for Biden's VP, which I think is the absolute truth. Shantae had a comment up top. I want to get back to that one. It was a good one. She said Joe Biden is a placeholder for us to get past all these candidates to get to a more progressive show. That right, and right there, that is the sauce right there. That's the secret sauce. We are truly voting for a VP, which is why I'm being very serious about my vote as relates to who the VP choice is. No, I didn't. Yeah, we can bring Warren back. I didn't. I'm not sure what happened, Warren, but if you want to come on back, click the link again. We'll get you back in here. System does that sometimes. But yeah, we're voting for a VP. He said himself, which is stupid to say as a candidate for president, that he don't see himself really being necessarily making it to a second term because of his age. He recognizes that his age is a factor. So that's stupid to say, just like all the other stupid stuff he says, and this whole reality show game of I'm gonna tell you about who my VP is. Oh, I ain't gonna tell you yet. I might tell you. Donate some money. I'm gonna tell you. Put your information on here. And we're gonna text you first and let you know. Boom!
Yeah.
Tell us who your VP pick is, so you can get. Because some people ain't gonna support you until they know, like me. So if you don't tell me who it is, your time is running out, and I can't stand all the games. Like you want to be. He rests on Obama's success.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to just be honest and real and be a real person rather than playing these whole trying to play these Trump games. Just be honest. You pretty much got everybody already for now. It's up to you to mess it up, and he's trying his best to mess it up. It seems like.
Shoot, I'll be his VP.
Yeah,
Right.
but I think he also knows that there are some people who are just like, you know what, anybody but Trump. So he already knows that he has their vote. He's like, I don't really have to do much, and
that
that's
pisses
true.
me off. So get him in there. I want him in there because we need to just reset. We need a reset. Reset is the word. We need a reset on normalcy. He'll bring normalcy. He's been in Congress for decades. He knows how to play politics and do politics in a normal, calm way that ain't gonna shake too much and have us scared that Russia and North Korea are gonna bomb us, right?
Yes,
he knows
we need
how to
some
do
class
that.
and somebody who's actually smart.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's a statesman. He knows how to do that. He ain't gonna do nothing amazing, but he knows how to.
Right.
Right. So let's go back to normalcy and reset and hold his feet to the fire on what we want as a people, as a nation. Our local people, let them know what we want. Let them know what we want. He ain't gonna be able to deal. He probably gonna have a heart attack.
And people were talking about Bernie too. Well, at least Bernie knew everything. He slept on Bernie. Y'all slept on Bernie because I didn't.
Ain't no way. I see. Bernie is a socialist.
Everyone slept on Bernie, man.
For sure.
I ain't interested in us being a socialist country.
I really don't think, but it's over now to argue Bernie's not a socialist point because he's out of the race. But, I looked into that. He had some socialist, ideas, but there's a lot of socialist ideas that are already in play that we all consider good ideas, and since our country's the youngest out of all, governments, it's still okay to try new things, I suppose. But I think Bernie would have been the guy. But, here we are and we're with Biden. And I'm afraid, people. I'm afraid. I don't, I'm trying to imagine such a better world with Biden. And it's hard for me to imagine, to be honest. That's what it is. It's hard for me to, we all want it.
It'll be better
because,
anybody.
You talking over each other. Tam said, nah, I like my take-home money. Me too. If Biden get in there and mess up my take-home money, I'm gonna be pissed off.
Oh, he's definitely gonna. But
and the taxes, my tax rate is lower now.
Yeah.
When Republicans are in, my tax rate is lower, and I like it.
I don't know if it's when Republicans are in, because the last time it really mattered to us, the Republican was in the House. We were what, 21?
You said what now?
Shoot,
we were too young to care. I know I was. So
yeah, I'm almost 40 years old, so I remember Bush pretty well. But
yeah, I was sitting in the hot behind sun in fucking Pakistan when Bush was in office.
I know my taxes were higher when Obama was in office. I'm paying less in taxes now.
I am too. That's true.
And I'll say this, and I will move to the next topic. I'm gonna vote for him for now. Everybody chooses for VP as long as he picks one of the black women. If he don't, it's curtains for me with that. I'm serious. I gotta stand on my standards of what I believe in, right? I feel like I want historic, that same feeling we had when Obama got inaugurated and was running and we knew he was gonna win. that same historic feeling. I want that. I need some feeling again. I want that feeling again. And a white woman,
It might be a rough one.
I want a black woman in there, and I want to feel good again about the country. And if if he don't do it, if he just chooses not to, like Obama
I mean,
like
they might be
Obama
sitting there looking for the political version of Candace Owen, you know,
You said what
to
now?
throw in front of. They might be looking for the political version of Candace Owen to throw in our
I'm not
face.
opposed
We
to
know that, right?
I'm not opposed.
Not opposed.
I'm not opposed.
But
All right. I think Biden is going to have a hard time because I really think he's declining. I'm just being honest. I really think he is. And this is the next topic is about that, and we'll just touch on it for like a minute. That Trump, they're banking on his decline, and they're trying to use that as a talking point in the media. Like they're really talking about that, but some people in the news feel like it's going to backfire on them. I don't personally think it's going to backfire. I think that it's going to be very embarrassing at the debates when Biden can't get a word in.
right, man.
I think it's going to be embarrassing to watch. It's going to be sad to watch. It's going to be like
It's gonna be hard to watch.
Yeah, but I hope he can pull it together. Obama needs to have a talk with him or something. Give him a little something. Give him something. He needs some pick me up before he gets on that stage because Trump don't care. Trump says stuff that's nonsensical. That don't make no sense. All he gonna do is
true. That sounds good.
You're right. And if you've been attacking, if you've been watching the you can bring them back. If you've been watching the interviews that Joe Biden does, when Joe Biden gets frazzled or you asking something that's hard, he gets defensive and he can't. Come on, man. He just keeps saying, "Come
That's
on,
gonna
man."
be rough.
And Trump is gonna be like, go eat his lunch. Trump is a bully. He's like a bully, a bully jock, and he's gonna embarrass Trump.
But you know,
That's why
I don't understand.
But you know the best way to.
I don't
Go ahead,
understand how Joe even got or Biden even got this far because I always say Joe Biden, it's like Shaq and Kobe. Who was Shaq without Kobe? Who was Biden without Obama? Nobody. So I don't even know why. I just get so confused. All I know is I agree with you, Lamar. Trump probably will eat him up, unfortunately. But I'm still gonna vote for him because I can't take another 4 years with Donald Trump.
All I'm saying is the best way to stop a bully from talking is when he's talking, slap the bully in his mouth. You slap a bully in his
Biden ain't
mouth.
the guy to do that. That's what we're afraid of. Biden is not the guy to do that.
But
Biden's going to give him his lunch money.
All Biden got to do all he got to do is take a line from Michelle Obama when she put Kanye West in his place. Just slap that dude in his mouth.
This is what that looks like. This is Biden going low, going high. He gonna say it when just like Michelle said. When they go low, we go high, like all the colors down in the Dixie.
Oh wow!
Dixon line. He gonna say something stupid like that.
Yeah,
and
that's why. As much as I don't want Trump to win, I'm not confident that he's going to lose. It's like, think of it like this. When was the last time you or any of y'all can remember a one-term president? It just doesn't happen. As much as even after 9/11 and everything, and Bush was at the lowest presidential rating in my generation since I can't remember. He still won.
Rigged.
When's the last?
That was rigged.
And you think this one won't be rigged? It's the same people that are running the show.
I mean, the
first
one was
rigged.
And with actual proof that it was rigged. That's the crazy
and it
part.
didn't stop him. And you think Trump's like not gonna do that? And you think anybody's gonna stop him if we don't have a guy that's gonna slap him? Because Biden ain't gonna stop him.
You know why it didn't stop him? Because it's this big old giant country over across the water called Russia. That's why it didn't stop him.
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
that's all I can say on that one.
It's hard to have hope. It's hard to have hope, like I did back in 2008 when I was young and I was, driving with the music loud, all in the line. Who y'all voting for? We was happy to the mug. But this time
Then my president is black.
Right. Oh man, we was bumping it.
Yeah.
We was bumping it.
Easy for a month straight.
Sam said Bush couldn't speak well either. He couldn't, but you know what? Bush was funny as hell.
He
He had
was.
me
Hey,
laughing.
look, what he say? You get
I
up there with us,
love
you gotta
George Bush
ride it.
now
And you
because
know
it's so
what, though?
funny watching his
Yeah.
speech. It's hilarious.
And
Bobbing
Bush
around like
liked,
this.
he liked
It was
people.
hilarious.
He was a people person. Like you could approach him.
Well, he was still a
wasn't
normal
very- he wasn't
president.
very-
Even though he was kind of crazy, he was still what
Yeah.
we would consider a normal president. Like,
Right.
you know, since Obama, they wanted everyone wants change. Everyone knows that the normal president, the normal system isn't good. We don't know what we want, you know, as far as how to fix it. Obama didn't quite work. Trump ain't working on their side. So it's still a process. But I haven't seen a one-term president in my life. I'm thinking Jimmy
Yeah.
Carter was maybe the last guy.
What Bush?
Fool
Bush?
me once, shame
first
on you.
Bush, wasn't it?
Fool
No?
me,
Fool me.
just can't fool me
Can't get fooled
again.
Oh yeah, Bush 1. You're right. Bush number 1 was a one-term
Classic.
president
Yeah.
because Clinton came in there. You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you just shed a little bit of hope into my dreams. Maybe we'll have a second one-term president.
This election is very important because this is the thing. It could go one or two ways. Trump gets back in there, we get chaos, we have issues with our enemies and our allies across the pond. And we what's her name? Justice, the old lady, what's her name? RGB. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that she passed this guy for bid, and he appoints a conservative judge that works towards overturning Roe v. Wade to make it illegal to have abortion. Or Biden gets in, the Democrats win the House and the Senate have a majority, and then all the LGBT rights that we ever wanted or the countries ever wanted go into play. Transgenders can go in the same bathrooms with everybody. All the stuff that conservatives and a lot of Christians don't want can happen. So depending on what you like and what you don't like, you got to pick.
But where does that leave us? Where, you know, Obama said it before, black people need to come to the table with a true agenda. Because, you know, everybody's got their rights and stuff, but say Biden gets arrested, or Biden gets elected, you really think they're going to lock up Breonna Taylor's murderers, or is it going to be the same stuff?
That's a whole nother thing.
I'm not sure. Right. It's going to be the same stuff because...
Good segue.
You know, and that's where my lack of hope, because I had hope when Obama came in that some of these things, these issues that we all grew up with were going to change. Now it's to the point where it's like, I don't think even, you know, we got the whole world standing up saying, you know, Black Lives Matter. And look what they hijacked that so fast before the news cycle was over. It was already a different thing. And we're left without an agenda once again. And it's
I'm glad you said hijacking too, because I say that all the time and people think I'm crazy. They
definitely.
everything.
Like I said, I'm on Glenwood. I see what we was doing. That wasn't what the news was saying. What was going on in Atlanta, that wasn't the real sentiment. No one here, and even the most, you know, thugged out person in this neighborhood, and like I said, I live in the hood, thinks that defunding the police is stupid. You should have the training of a Navy SEAL to be a police officer. We need to throw more money at that. You know what I mean? So that they don't crack under pressure, so that they don't frighten out.
Well, and that's the problem, man. Like you can't. So what you just said, train police officers or have police officers that have training like that of us that are in the military that are special forces, Navy SEALs.
No, not the stress training is what I should have said. The stress training, you should be able to weed out the guys that can't handle the stress. There's definitely a way to weed out the people that can not. No, I don't want them to be a combat, you know, Marine. No, but there should be some sort of stress. My 18-year-old son that just graduated high school should not be eligible to be a police officer right now in 3 months. If he wanted to, he could join APD right now. They ain't gonna do too much or nothing. He ain't got no criminal record. He can run. He's fine. And then after that, he doesn't even have to do physical training anymore. You know, and it's ridiculous. It's more stressful. You need more time of training to be I'm a pawnbroker, and it's not the most glorious job in the world, but you need a few months of training and a license before you can start taking people's gold and giving them money for it. And I just think that more funding, and I'd be willing to give my tax dollars for that. I'd be willing to weed out, and completely change the system. But they took it on as if we don't want policing or something like that. That doesn't make any sense. That just makes that just sounds crazy. We know that's not what it means, but
for difficult police training, one being if you got picked on in high school, you're not eligible. They got some proof.
I mean, that's most of them. They get the badge and the and a gun. They're like, yeah, I can just do whatever. I'll still slap you in the face, dude. Like, I'm still gonna hit you in your mouth. Just because you got a gun don't mean nothing. Just because you got a badge don't mean nothing. You still a punk. You always gonna be a punk. That badge don't make you no tougher. But I mean, in all honesty, like all jokes aside, like yes, I do believe that police training should be more rigorous. Like I even think military basic training is watered down now. And trust me, I can't stand the soldiers that we get sometimes. But that's a different story. But like it does need to be like more in detail training. There does need to be a deeper psychological test that is given people before they join the police force. I mean, because like you say, PTSD is real. And PTSD does not have to be from combat. Post-traumatic stress disorder does not say anything about combat stress. It can be from you getting your butt behind whooped as a child. And now all of a sudden, or beat up or bullied or whatever. And now all of a sudden, now you got post-traumatic stress from that. And now I'm giving you a gun and a badge and telling you to go protect and serve. Okay, no, bro, it just doesn't work like that. It needs to be detailed training. I mean, you need to pull back somebody's records from the time they were 16 up until whenever they decide to sign that dotted line saying I want to be a police officer.
Right.
And you need to scrub it completely.
And physical training.
Shante say you should have regular psychiatric evaluations and something should be done when you don't pass.
Yep.
Yeah, you should get that. Tam says, I'm pro defund and reform. We need those funds in the correct place in the police departments like salary. We need more community funding. I agree with that. I believe it needs to be trifold: defund, reform, and some parts of what's the other word? Oh, I can't remember. Tam. Taken away. I can't think of the right word for exactly what.
Revoked.
I can't think of it.
No, honestly, if we had the type of
at the top of the list.
Yes, absolutely need to be reformed. The whole system needs to be reformed. I mean, but it's not gonna happen from throwing less of it. And the point I was making is like our point of view on this subject kind of got washed out by everything else. No one in the neighborhood is talking like the news is saying that we're talking. You know what I mean? It's like that's not how people think. What? That's crazy. But, and again, how do we hold our politicians accountable?
Keep that there.
If our voices aren't even being heard, where our agendas aren't even being spoken to. We get like the lip service. We get, Black Lives Matter written on a boulevard, but nothing changes. And we're like, we didn't ask for that.
It's a pacifier, yeah.
DJ said both of his parents are police officers. They both said it's the police who get a rush from power who are doing these horrific acts.
Absolutely. If you're a high school graduate that couldn't get a job anywhere else and you can't even handle the stress and somebody said you can have a gun and bully people, you're going to go for it. Yep. If Donald Trump was poor, he'd be a cop.
No.
For real. And we need to make that job more appealing to heroes.
Paul Martin said governors and mayors have the ability to force change. So vote the old guys out. Amen. It starts locally. It definitely starts locally. If we don't vote locally,
that's where it starts. I mean, that's the initial start. If you gotta vote locally, you can't just say, oh yeah, let's get these people out of here without taking care of the inner city first.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk before we get out of here. We're almost out of time. We spent a lot of time on the Trumps. Let's talk about Breonna Taylor real quick. The police have not been put in jail yet. Why is that? Does anyone know?
What we just said.
Right.
You have all these old politicians who sit up there and like, oh no, we're not gonna touch that. That's just another African American. We don't really want to touch that situation because the police were doing their job. He was a criminal. They had an arrest warrant, so we can just go in there and they can do whatever they need to do to in the pursuit of justice. Lamar, I'm not cussing on your show. You know that. You know I don't do that. But that is some.
Just say it.
That's some fucking bullshit.
It is.
That's exactly what it is. Because prime example, let's just say it like this. And there's a clip that was on TV, and I seen it. It was a white lady. She was, and by far not racist. It was a white lady. She came at the police officer, and the police officer just happened to be black. And what did he do? He gave her a warning. He said, "Please," he said, "Ma'am, put them scissors down. Put them scissors down, ma'am. Put the scissors down. and put 2 in her ass.
Mm-hmm.
And she passed away.
Oh,
But hey,
Oh, I didn't know that.
you know, I mean, at least is what I think. But I mean, he popped her dead in the chest. So I mean, I don't think she lived.
I mean,
But
there are some communities that are untouchable. We need to become one of those communities that will hold you accountable when things happen. You know, and they have all these
yes,
talking points where they try to throw up criminals or black on black this and that. And I'm like, criminals always kill each other. That has nothing to do with people being able to get away with murder. Because if
exactly.
Ray kills somebody, they get arrested and prosecuted, and we're all for that. There's
And he
nobody saying
going
that
to
the only
jail.
group of people, right? The only group of people that are allowed to kill us with impunity are the police, and that's why we're upset about the situation. There's always going to be murderers. There's always going to be bad cops. There's always going to be a cop that's a psychopath. But if they're treated equally, that's all we ever wanted. That was the original agenda. You know, if I punch a guy in the face, regardless of what I was thinking, when I punch that guy in the face, I get the same punishment as if he punches me in the face, regardless of what he was thinking or why he punched me in the face. Equal justice
But
under the law is all we ever really wanted.
exactly. But
so
who says it's legal though? Paul Martin, I think Paul said it's legal.
I hope he said that in quotes. It wasn't legal. It's not legal to kill a sleeping person in their home. That's ridiculous.
Thank you.
But it is though in this country, because if it wasn't legal, those people would be in jail. It's legal for them. It's not
No,
legal for me and
I
you.
would say it's
I
absolutely
got
illegal.
something that about Kentucky. It says there is no specific law in these jurisdictions addressing police shooting in self-defense, which means officers have the same rights and obligations as any resident. Yet police have the unique power to initiate violence, like knocking down the door of a private home in the middle of the night, that other people don't. So it looks like there are laws protecting these guys.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
that
still,
qualified
they
immunity
But I'm
thing
saying,
was a big deal.
Do they have a search warrant?
Right, they did for the wrong person who's already in custody. And that's the thing
Mhm.
that gets me. Like they were wrong all the way around. And they killed this poor innocent woman and then proceeded to lie to her mother for 14 hours while her mom waited for her outside, told her she was in one place when she really was dead at home. It was all a whole big cover up. Everybody's lying. I don't get it. I get emotional when I talk about it because I don't understand why these people are still walking the streets, going on vacation, living their lives, not in jail. And it's crystal clear who
I know
did
why.
this.
I know why.
Why?
Because we spent all our energy on George Floyd, we didn't spend hardly not even 20% of it on Breonna Taylor.
Exactly.
Well, we can change that.
And if you look at the whole release tape of George Floyd, it's a whole different situation than Breonna Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
is.
was
Yeah,
We definitely should have been more outraged about Breonna Taylor, but
absolutely.
the fact that they can get away with it, that right now it's still legal and we don't have the power as a community to make law bend to our agenda. They can change the law if they want to. They can make it not illegal. What's legal other
But
than
we don't
whatever it
even
is that
need
they
a
write
law
down?
change
You don't
to
need
get
a
the
law.
people
You
arrested
just-
who killed her. We don't even need
Exactly.
that. We don't need that.
It takes that.
So what do we
mayor of
need?
that
Because
city-
the laws obviously aren't enough.
it
And at
takes
what
the
Honestly,
point?
at
mayor-
some point, I don't know when somebody's just not going to get their goons on them. Like, for real. Like, it couldn't have been my sister. It couldn't have been
I'm
my
sorry,
sister.
it
Mhm.
couldn't have been. Because if
Couldn't have
I'd have known,
Mhm.
every last one of them cops' names and where they live. Oh, the goons have been out in front of your
No doubt.
bushes, and I put that on the 6th. The goons would have been right outside of your bushes. Man, if Bumper Bush, we'd have just been sitting in the front and on your couch waiting for you to wake up the next morning,
No doubt.
drinking your coffee, eating your pancakes in the morning, and having a sip of orange juice. Oh, hey, what's up, Bob? Oh, yeah, you might as well go and sit down on that couch, homie. You're not going to work today.
Yeah,
And
I don't get it. It infuriates
as much as
me
I'd
even
love to
think
see
about.
that, I'm disappointed in how our goons has acted throughout all this. You know what I mean? Where are the goons?
are
Where
they?
is it? There is no, people can come to our neighborhood and do whatever they want. I see people jogging around here that don't look like us. Ain't nobody gonna approach them. But if my son go jogging in the wrong neighborhood, they try to make the hood to be so dangerous when in reality, it's one of the
It's really
safest
not.
places in America. It's really not.
Okay.
If somebody that's not from the hood is walking around in the hood, somebody auntie
They
gonna
ain't
say
think
that,
about
hey
you.
boy, what you doing around here? Boy,
You ain't from
boy,
here.
what you doing around here? Ain't nobody, you're not
I
gonna
don't know.
die.
Yeah, I can't get with that one. I can't agree with that one. I don't know about
I mean, hey, look, man, I'm straight from the hood in California, man. We
Yeah.
know, like, hold up. You ain't
Right,
from
DJ.
ABC block, bro. You ain't from ABC block. You ain't wearing blue. Don't come around here. We
And
know
then
that.
what?
You
And then
know.
if you don't, then what happens?
If you don't take heed to the warning,
Well, that's how
hey.
we need to approach these murderers that killed Breonna Taylor.
Exactly, because the business owners around that block don't wear blue or don't give a damn what color they wear. They just buy the
Nope. So
block,
don't.
and it's
They
like,
just buy the block.
exactly. So if we can have that same energy, the same energy we have towards someone else, you know what I mean? We need to have that energy on anyone that violates our community. But it
Absolutely.
only applies towards people in the gang. I ain't, I've been gang banging all my life. I know about that. You know how the Midwest get down. But I've never, I'm disappointed because this isn't what it was supposed to be about. This isn't what it was supposed to grow and develop into. You know what I mean? So I'm disappointed in that because it's like, I've seen it. I never noticed it as much, but anyone has access to our neighborhood. You can't be I've lived in New York. I've lived here. You can't be in Chinatown and be an officer if you're not one of them. And it's not seen as racist. You know what I mean? You're in Chinatown. That's what it is.
You just can't come through.
Yeah, you definitely can't just go there and buy a building and stuff. You know what I mean? That's not gonna happen. But we don't have that caucus of accountability. Say, hey, before you set up a business in this particular community, these are the guys that you need to speak to. These are the guys that you need to clear it with. These are the guys that basically, take care and run this community. Our lack of leadership is being on display for the whole world, and it's not a good look.
I mean, in regards to Breonna Taylor, we need to just keep fighting the fight, and we need to keep saying her name until they are arrested, or like I said, somebody takes the matter into their own hands.
Absolutely. I think Oprah's doing a great job with that. With putting up when she was 26 when she passed away. So like, I think she
was murdered.
Yeah,
she was 26 when she was murdered. Yeah,
and she was murdered. And my bad. She was murdered. 26 years old. She's putting up 26 billboards and running that ad for every year of her life, and that. And you have to. You gotta slap it in people's face. Like, hey, man, you did this. This ain't something that just happened.
And other influencers should be doing it too. And you know who else should be doing it? Biden and these other politicians.
Politicians
and black representatives. All these folks all of them should be up in arms and saying something. But are they?
No, and that brings us back to the topic of the first conversation and my reasons for why I don't have that much faith and hope in Biden. It's at this time, it's like the first person to show me some action, I'm riding with him. Show me some action and I'm riding with him.
His VP is gonna overshadow him, whoever she is.
Man, I just need a mustard seed of your hope. I hope the VP does it because they got my vote, but I would like them to earn my support as well.
Such a
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna hold their feet to the fire. Man, it's 8:58. We had some other stuff to talk about. We were gonna talk about the Beirut and Baltimore explosions.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've been at work all day. I'm not even abreast of the Baltimore explosion. I'm gonna have to look at the news, man.
So, if one of y'all want to run down, I don't know a whole lot about it, but if one of y'all do, y'all want to run through it real fast, you can. Otherwise, we'll put it on for Friday.
All I know about the Beirut explosion was it was old Russian munitions that were loaded on the dock, and they were explained to that, hey, if you put this there, the type of munitions it was going to explode, but it had been there for years, and it just so happened that to catch on fire, and we all know the rest of the story, and it killed about 35 people. At least is what.
No, it was over 100 last time.
I thought it was over 100. Yeah.
The initial count was 35, but then now they've gotten it over 100. I think the more recent story has been like over 100 people. So and like the shockwave it went out for miles and miles and miles. So yeah, it's crazy.
Keep them in your thoughts. We'll talk more about it on Friday, and we'll see how it progresses. I'm expecting a vice presidential announcement tomorrow. Senator Harris is my top pick. I'm okay with Susan Rice, but she better be black.
Look, if Senator Kamala Harris is the vice president, Lord, look out, because she's going to put everybody in check.
And if they need to go,
On a broader thing, I have hope in our people. My grandma was born in 1919. The old people that fed her greens were born as slaves. It hasn't been that long ago. And I think in the time that we were, you know, in that same time, the 160 years that we've been free, shoot, I have hope for our people. I don't know how to articulate it in the way I want to, but I think we'll be all right, regardless of what they'll try to do to us, and you know, against us. That
Look,
we'll
we
be
can't
fine.
take much more.
Yeah, we
2020
Oh,
has
can't.
we can
been
take
hell.
way more if we have
No,
to,
I
and
can't.
we'll still be all right.
And I say this in my final thought. We have to remember that we are God's chosen people. We spent
Hmm
260 plus years in bondage. The Egyptians spent 460 plus years in bondage. This world was put here for us to be that chosen people. And we have to come together and we have to understand that the 12 tribes of Judah rely in us. And if we don't understand that, we need to understand it now. Because 2020 is like really should be an eye opener for everybody. So I
Big time.
say to all my people in the world, man, open your eyes, open your ears. That faithful breast and the attentive ear. You gotta use it right at this moment in time because it's the time is drawing nigh, and if we don't understand it now, we better understand it quick, boy.
Yep. Chris, you got some final words you want to do?
No.
Brother
Thanks for having
Warren.
us on the show. We
Yeah,
very
thanks for
much
having me.
appreciate it.
All right, I'll
Peace.
do mine. Let me give me the camera. I'm gonna do my words. I'm
All
gonna have
right,
last thoughts.
Justice for
it's your
Breonna
show.
Taylor.
Here
Hey,
we
justice
go.
for
All
Breonna.
right, my final thoughts. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys for joining us as guests. Great input, great opinions. I just want to say we're going into a new year. We don't know what we have ahead of us, but we're gonna hope for the best, regardless of who's in office. Um, but we're going to demand what we want from whoever's in office as well. We're going to vote locally. We're going to start movements. I think, and we're going to, as I keep saying every week, we are the most informed. We have to be the most informed than we ever been as it relates to the process of government and politics. We've been in the dark too long. We have to be informed so we can make informed decisions. Thank you guys for watching. Prayers and thoughts to all those in the explosions, those that are suffering with COVID, people that have families suffering with COVID, and justice for Breonna Taylor. We're gonna make sure we continue to say her name. This has been TFG tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Share, subscribe on YouTube. Appreciate y'all.